Okay, Memorial Day, and putting in the replacement half shaft on my 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee from Detroit Axle, and the exact same thing happened on this replacement part that happened with the original part. So on the original part, installing it, the CV joint came apart just in putting the half shaft in, and then I made a video of that showing that the only thing holding it together was the rubber boot, and Detroit Axle sent me a replacement. This is the replacement. They claimed it was a manufacturing defect, but here's the exact same thing. Look, I can twist the half shaft apart, and you can see the rubber boot twisting. So what happens is when you put the half shaft in, you put this part into the diff member there, and then you plug the other end into the hub, and if it falls outward, or if you put any kind of slight pressure, it just pops the CV joint apart, something that should never happen. So I'm going to pull this, I'm going to take the boot off of the CV joint and show you how it is. So here's the Detroit Axle, where we see the CV joint has just come apart, and I've used my micrometer to measure the dimensions here, the dimensions of the inside of the channel which it rides on both this and this is a half shaft that I pulled out to replace. This was on the passenger side, so I got the same dimensions on that. And so it appears that the Detroit Axle part is just improperly manufactured. It should never come apart like that. So, here's the part that it's supposed to be replacing as it came out of the factory. And, I can pull, I can wiggle, I can do all kinds of violent maneuvers there, and it's not going to come apart. But you give one small pull on the Detroit Axle half shaft, and it just pops apart like that. How you can install it and make it run, let's say even if you never reached into travel on this in driving down the road, just getting it in, you're going to have to at some point put some slight pressure to pull this back out in order to get it installed into the hub, and it's going to pop apart. Going down the road, you can imagine if you were crawling through some terrain or something, suspensions going up and down. If you ever reached limit on this, if there was ever any kind of slight pull, your half shaft's going to pop apart, and you're going to be stranded wherever you are. Hopefully, it's not anything at speed where the thing flails around and does all kind of damage, but at a minimum, you're going to be stuck on the side of the road. So yeah, this is the second half shaft. So the first one they sent me was like this, and then the replacement they sent me, they said, oh, it must be a manufacturing defect, so we'll send you a replacement. And they sent me a replacement. Of course, their 2-day shipping takes 5 days, because it takes a couple days for them to get from generating the label to actually handing it over to the shipper. So anytime you order from Detroit Axle, expect it to take a week. If it's over the weekend, yeah, it can take 7 days to get your 2-day shipped part. So, all right, well, I guess I have to call them. And at this point, do I even want a replacement part on this? Because 2 out of 2 are bad. So the third one's likely to be bad just as well. So at this point, I would rather maybe just get my money back and go buy a proper part somewhere else.